All right. Let's talk about the Bible. Let's talk about why people are saying this. Okay. So.
Give us the lesson, Kelly.
There was Jacob. And God loved Jacob because Jacob wrestled with man and God and won. He got God to think differently. I'm not so sure I'm right about that, but he was a special guy. That's how he got his name, Israel.
Oh, okay. So Jacob,
which
is the first angel thing.
No, he's not an angel. He's just a man.
Well, Jacob wrestles with God. How can he wrestle with God if he's just man?
Okay. What am I?
He has to be half man, half.
What are you, Tucker Carlson? I can't remember the story exactly, okay? But I actually can't remember what happened, but there was something that happened
Jacob is Israel. That is point. Okay.
Okay, so Jacob got the name Israel from wrestling with man and God and winning. Israel means I don't fucking remember actually. Man, boy, it would be cool if I did remember it and if I were prepared.
I can
bet the promised land, the land that God promised, he promised to the Jacobites. He promised to the Israelites, sons of Jacob. You see what I'm saying here? Jacob and his family. And the people in Israel, I don't know if any of them are Jacobites. I think they all might be Canaanites.
Oh, because Jacob and Cain. Wait, no, I thought it was Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
But who's Jacob then?
One of Abel's. No, not Abel's descendants. Sorry.
Cain's descendants?
I think one of Seth's.
Seth?
God damn it.
Who the fuck is Seth?
He was replacement child for Abel.
See, this is the problem with
Seth had Noah.
With this fucking
Noah had
bullshit.
Some kids.
I just asked it a very simple question and gave me the most fucking ridiculous answer in the world.
Yeah. So, anyways, the promised land is promised to Jacob and the Jacobites, or Jacob, aka Israel, and the Israelites. Well, guess what? The nation of Israel is not that. God didn't promise a nation to anybody. People are leaning on that so hard. Guess what? DNA tests are not allowed in Israel. They're outlawed.
Actually, abortion is legal in Israel, but it's not entirely unrestricted. There are a few specific conditions under which a woman can legally have an abortion. Would you like me to explain those conditions?
Yeah, a little bit. Quickly. Do it quickly.
Okay, here's the deal with abortion in Israel. It's not totally straightforward. There are a few specific situations where it's allowed. Want me to break down the details?
No. Are DNA tests allowed in Israel?
Wait. Yes, DNA tests are allowed in Israel.
Okay, my bad. That was dumb.
Yeah, no.
We need the genealogy and shit.
So what's on your mind?
Can 23andMe be a thing in Israel? Can people in Israel do 23andMe?
That's a bit tricky. While DNA testing is used in Israel, it's mainly for things like criminal investigations. Companies like 23andMe don't operate there due to privacy laws. Did you have a specific reason for asking about 23andMe in Israel?
She is a anti-Semite, and she thinks this is some conspiracy theory where the government wants to hold DNA so that we don't know that the
He's fucking setting me up really for Jewish. Sure, though.
Is that real? Is that real? Is
any Israel reason why you Jewish? Might be asking about that?
Is Israel not really Jewish?
It's not accurate to say that Jewish people aren't really Jewish. Jewish identity is complex and has historical, religious, and cultural.
Yeah, it's like a race of people. It's complicated.
Yeah, we get that part. I'm saying, is the people people aren't truly Jewish is rooted in anti-Semitism. Hey! I just want to know: are the people in Israel that live there? Do we really know? Are they really Jewish?
It's important to understand that Jewish identity isn't solely based on DNA.
Okay, pause. because
what is that bullshit?
No, it doesn't have anything to be with being Jewish. In the Bible, when like it became a thing, it was they were the Hebrews, and the Hebrews were enslaved by the Egyptians.
Okay.
And that's where the story of Moses and all of that comes from.
Okay.
And so Moses was a descendant of Jacob. And so Moses was promised the promised land because he was a descendant of Jacob. Well, then Moses said, wait, I can't just like leave all the other slaves. They're Hebrews just like me. And so God is like, you know what? I fucked with Jacob so much. I love Jacob so much. And you're kind of like him. You came from him in a way. And so, all right, fair enough. Square. They can come. And then that's when like, the frogs,
all that stuff.
The locusts.
But my thing is like, so that is the ultimate
the other
question.
Hebrews got to come because Moses was like, please. And then even then, like I've explained to you before, even then they crossed the Red Sea. They were crossing through the desert to the promised land. And God was so annoyed with them. But they were just complaining all the time. They're like, where are we going? How much further? We're tired of eating manna. And God was like having private conversations with Moses, being like, dude, I can't fucking do it. Like, I hate this. I hate that.
So Moses was masturbating while everybody was complaining? I'm giving the historically accurate representation of this account. There was a man named Moses. He was a slave. He was a Jew. And
he was a Hebrew.
He took the other... Well, apparently, like, this is the thing. I'm caught up on this now. What is Jew? Because I just said...
Hebrew.
Are the people in Israel Jewish? And no one's going to be able to answer that question for me.
It's complicated. Here's why.
Why is that?
It takes a billion fucking years to even try and explain. And then it's also just like, try and like maintain a train of thought. Try and maintain some fucking focus on that story with the loops and the it's a never ending story.
Well, where did the black Israelites get into all this? Because they're somewhere. There were black people in Egypt. Nobody wants to talk about that part.
So the people in Israel are not necessarily Israelites. Do you see what I'm saying?
So they could
God promised this. The promised land was promised to a certain, like, to Jacob and his line. If like any of Jacob's line like fucked a black person, if they like brought black people into the line, then whatever. Yeah, sure. But the other people got to come because of Moses's like kind heart. And Moses didn't even like being a leader like this either. It was overwhelming and it sucked. And it wasn't fun for him at all. He was constantly being challenged, constantly being questioned. And so to say that you are promised that land without even knowing if you are like, if you fit into that true, like,
but how would they ever test the descendancy?
Exactly.
You are claiming it by just doing it.
So they've been getting away with saying like, this was the land promised to us. And it's like, it's not. It's not. It's really not.
Okay, but right. So
and
then
everybody has lost the plot so much. Like, this is kind of why I started reading the Bible, because I was like, let's see what they're actually fucking saying about this. And it's like, but Kelly, not anything anybody else says.
I don't think that they're losing the plot. I think that's the point. They're using the Bible, the number one historical, like the number one fucking book, English book. It's number one English book. All right.
That's what I meant by losing the plot. They're exploiting it.
But like we're literally taking that and going, we have no solution to this problem that's ever evolving and complex. We need to give this religion some sort of area, some livable like, you know, like it. I understand it because it's like when you go to a modern, have you ever been to like a modern church and they like talk in metaphor and practicality, and you start to like, you get more out of it because you see them as just like a motivational speaker or like a speaker. You're like, oh, okay, today's lesson is all about like self-growth. And we're going to go through this allegory in the Bible for that. Fundamentally, even as much as I want to make fun of Ted Cruz, I think that's kind of what he's doing here, which is like, no, don't you get it? Since the 50s, we have used this metaphor, Israel, to protect these people that were ostracized in Germany so that they can have this land. Because if we don't, shit goes boom, boom. Shit goes fucking haywire. We get back into another thing like this. So we have to keep blowing up all the Muslims or the Christians don't win. And the Christians have to win or we lose. Less Taco Bell, less McDonald's. What do you think these people eat? Rice and fucking chicken with their hands in a fucking market. No. Strip malls everywhere. America.
The rice and chicken with your hands isn't so bad, honestly. It's pretty chill, actually.
Crazy to me. When I was watching that in that video,
it's
I was
nice.
like, that's why Iran is bad.
It's nice. Everybody sits around a big bowl and you just eat as much as you can with your hands. It's
all right. We gotta get to another video.
I think it's a thing they like to do on like Mondays. Is like couscous day. You know, like we have like Taco Tuesdays.
Is that what you do? You just make fucking Iranian food by yourself, and you're an op. You're an op.
I try to be patient with Alex because he's not as cultured as I.